Ladies and gentlemen, please move closer to your set for this special cable medical memo. Closer still. Ladies and gentlemen, please place your faces against the screens of your television set. Now, the list of radiation sickness symptoms is as follows: runny nose, warm face, falling hair, morning cramps, evening cramps, afternoon cramps, bloating, boredom, disgust, denial. From the bowels of hell, it's Mike's Inferno with your guide, Mike. Tonight, TV Library, live recorded audience comments, Carla the Consumer Sleuth, The Hell of Addiction, a special, the Bi-Coastal Minister of Culture, and Showbiz Rumor Mill. And here he is, your guide, Mike.
Hiya, folks. Pretend the candle's lit, okay? I've got a candle. Welcome to Mike's Inferno, the show that is proof that the cable industry needs tighter controls. Yes, I say welcome to you, hardy tube traveler. Welcome to you who is not fearful of a demoralizing glimpse of the dark side of our painful existence. Welcome to the show that dares remind you that life spelled backwards is evil. You are tuned to the program that says you voted for him, not me. Welcome on board, you young bucks. Scrape the mud off your shoes and sit a spell, but don't let me keep you from anything really important, though. Welcome to the show that wonders if Greenwich Mean Time is set 5 minutes fast, just in case. Yes, this is the show that ain't afraid to say, I told you so. I told you so. This is the show whose motto is, 100 minutes from now, it won't make any difference anyway. Our helpful hint today is, if you don't know the young lady really well, don't even consider dating her unless it's in a month ending in R. Yes, this is the program that sets its sights deliberately low to avoid being singled out. We here on Mike's Inferno retain the right to refuse service to anyone. For example, you. Yes, you on the couch, turn off your set. That means you, Mom. This is the show that arrogantly cries out to its critics, oh, God, please don't hit me, I'll do anything. Honest. Welcome to the show that is right in step with a culture that has turned human blood into a toxic substance. Oops. You are watching the sham show that sometimes wonders late at night if the phrase "Ich bin ein Arizonan" would have worked just as well. Welcome to the show that advocates giving the Kurds nuclear weapons just to see what would happen. Yep. You're watching a show that believes that Uncle Walt Disney is in that cold metal canister on the lot out in Burbank, but he underpaid the cryo expert in charge, so there he'll stay. Enough of that. It's time to get started on tonight's twisted trolley ride through the tiny tarnished tinsel tunnel known as life. It's time for TV Library. Get your reading material. I've got mine. See you in a bit. Shh. Okay. I'll tell you what I'm reading here. I'm reading the Prospect News from, let me see, it's from Donovan and Ripley County in Missouri. This is given to us from our friend Doug Haywood, who is... Doug is kind of a small town guy, and he gets this. This is his hometown. Doug is kind of like if you crossed a hayseed and a hick and kept them all night, trapped inside a bumpkin, you would end up with a Doug. Anyway, here's some things from small town America. This town is so small, I swear this is all true. Driver's test given here. This was news. Missouri State driver's tests were given Wednesday, February 27th. Those receiving driving permits were. And they list by name the people who got driver's licenses. If you go to Naylor Grade School, it would be good to know that on Monday lunch will be lasagna, green beans, tossed salad, garlic bread, and applesauce. Sure, you say, Mike, small town living sounds like fun, but what can you do for work? Help wanted. Must be able to travel with Carnival, no long hair or drugs. Outside of Donovan is a small community named Naylor. Here's the Naylor news written by Ruby Miller. I swear this is true. This is news in the paper. Mr. and Mrs. Lloyd Deckard went to Festus to visit their son Tom and family. Saturday they drove to St. Louis and had dinner at a Red Lobster. I'm tired of TV Library. It's now time for recorded audience comments. So we'll just break this out here. Oh, not that it much matters, but I can't see the teleprompter. There we go. Here we go. Recorded program comments. We have a telephone number here on Mike's Inferno. The number is 213-364-0911. Feel free to call. We encourage the contact. Here are the people that called during our last show. I lost their messages. The voicemail after 14 days doesn't save them anymore. I lost them. But the messages were this: a couple of teenage girls playing with the phone, a guy who called up to say that he really liked Dalton Craig and his stance against women. Another guy said he thought things were kind of funny, to call him back. It was pretty much stuff like that. Maybe you guys can do better and give us a call. We encourage the contact. Our first guest is making her second appearance here on Mike's Inferno. She is our consumer advocate who, with weasel-like accuracy, can ferret out a bargain from 50 paces, even if it's hiding under a large, hardened road apple left over from the horse-drawn antics of Giuseppe the Dirty Iceman. I tell you, the woman doesn't sleep. She stares at the ceiling all night long, thinking of nothing but how she can save us money, us the undeserving masses. That and how she can get out of that rat hole apartment. Please welcome our friend Carla, the consumer sleuth. Join me.
Hey.
Hello, Carla, and welcome back.
Thanks a lot. Glad to be here.
It's Carla, ladies and gentlemen. What do you have for us today? We've got money wrapped in our tight little fists. We want to go out and spend, but we don't want to be taken advantage of. How can you help us?
Well, the economy's been so bad, I'm not advocating that anyone spend any money, and we're all going through a heightened consciousness about the ecology. So what I have today is do-it-yourself home pet burial using found objects from around the house.
Is there a lot of call for home pet burial?
Millions of pets
Oh.
in America.
And I suppose they have to pass from one time or another. Well, what do you have for us here?
Frequency. Well, you'll recognize the common toilet paper roll. Here I've taken just a scrap of fabric that I had lying around the house, and now I've made it something quite attractive.
Yes, and what?
You make them as ornate as you like.
Well, what is it you're showing me here?
Embellishments.
This is a pet casket.
Yes, it is.
Well, what would fit in? I mean, what do you have?
This size,
it's a small pet.
This size would be suitable for your white mice, parakeets, small hamsters. Just simply drop it in there, stuff a little tissue in the end, and you're ready to bury.
Well, that would be good. These are just objects found in
biodegradable also.
I would figure that would take about 2 weeks to biodegrade into just fertilizer, but by then you've let go of your emotional attachment to the lower rodent.
And who cares?
Yeah. Yeah. And this is very nice. Now, what about this here? This is different.
This, another environment pleaser. This is a space-saving casket. This is for vertical implantation in case you're running out of room in the backyard. Simple plug of earth is removed. You set this down, and then the fringe blends in with the yard.
Yeah. Well, that is.
Kids involved, they can decorate it any kind.
Here stands Ralph.
With the marker.
That's really well. I noticed we're economizing here. We're economizing. We're cutting back.
We're using the 3 R's. We're reducing what we bring into the home. Yes. We're reusing what we already have, and we're recycling what we can no longer use.
The 3 R's.
The 3 R's.
Okay, good. Well,
graduate to your larger pets. This is a paper towel holder. This would be lizards, newts, and larger fish.
Oh.
Set that in there, and then that's ready to go.
That's good.
Then, of course, this would be for snakes or eels.
Water moccasin, pet water moccasin would fit in there easily. Well, that's wonderful. Now, I notice we're getting a little larger. We get into the area that's larger. This just caught my eye.
Now we're moving into kittens, puppies, ducks, rabbits. And this is, of course, the akin to an open casket.
Well, can we do this? This is transparent.
Sure.
Is this a shoebox of some kind?
This was another type of shoebox that I found in my closet. I laid some fabric inside. This is for, suppose the pet dies while your child is away at school. You don't want him to come home and find no pet. You want him to know what happened to his pet and start getting him used to the idea of death and not be afraid of it.
Well, the pet could lie in state, right?
Exactly.
This looks like Lenin's tomb.
They can gather around, they can have a little ceremony.
Yes. And this, of course, is the closed casket, I assume, this here?
Closed casket.
And this would be what, for roadkills and when an open casket would be inappropriate.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, this is a very creative thing here.
Thank you.
A very creative, because I just had an idea.
Yeah?
Tell me if this would be allowed. An old toy rubber boat, plastic boat, a dead parakeet, some lighter fluid. You put the boat and the parakeet on the swimming pool, you set it afire, adrift. A Viking funeral.
You're only limited by your imagination.
And the number of dead pets you have around the house. Now, I think I know where you're going with this down here.
Yeah?
Can I go ahead?
Sure.
Can I? We have here a toy car. Do we right here? And this, I assume, this is supposed to be the carcass of the dead animal.
That's it.
Right, of the dog. And this is the dog. Where are dogs happiest on this earth? With their head out the window at 55 miles an hour on the 10 freeway, I would think. You take the dead dog, you put him in the toy car. Am I right? Stop me if I'm going wrong.
You're
that's good.
absolutely on target.
And then I guess the breeze of eternity blows in your dog's face forever.
And then you just
Lower.
go ahead and lower that right into the ground. They're used to having dirt in their eyes.
Well, that is really fascinating. Let's get on to a little more serious aspect of this. You've got the old pet, maybe illness is set in, the pet is aged, and perhaps the illness is lingering.
Yes, it's a sensitive, delicate issue, but it happens all the time, and not everyone can afford to avail themselves of professional veterinary service or pet cemeteries.
Right, that can be expensive.
So there is a method that you can use at home.
To put your pet under.
To send him on to his final resting place.
And save the $75 lethal injection fee. Well, how do you do that?
Well, please remember we're thrifty, not insensitive. Again, found items. Everyone has these around the house.
Plastic produce bag. Rubber band.
Yeah.
Well, since we don't have a puppy, I will affect the aged pet. So here is the aged pet, beginning, can't see, can't feel, barely showing signs of life.
On his last legs, and you can't stand to see him in pain anymore.
No. Okay.
So you very gently, while talking soothingly to him,
we would be doing
lower
this.
that over the head, and take the rubber band, put it around like this.
Yeah.
You might even want to sing.
This is you may.
While this is going on.
Yes, and then. That wasn't too bad. Thank you, Carla, the consumer sleuth. Ladies and gentlemen, addiction isn't funny. Well, hardly ever. We went out in the field to bring you this shocking report about addiction and the surprisingly brave people who are helping themselves and each other. Here in a special remote report, roll the tape. Addiction, a national obsession. Obsession, a national addiction. We're here in Hollywood at a meeting place where courageous people meet to help themselves and each other beat the odds. Tell us your name, please.
My name is Carl Yule.
Carl, tell us about your fine organization.
I'm the executive director of an organization called Elvenon.
Elvenon?
Elvenon.
That's an anti-histamic. My doctor gives me that. I get
No.
stuffy
You're confusing that with something else. It's a common problem that we have.
Oh.
No, we are a group dedicated to the aid of recovering Elvis impersonators.
I had no idea this was a serious problem.
This is not only a serious problem in this country, this is a serious problem in the world. It is a blight on society.
Tell me.